This is Mark Passwaters, the publisher of AggieYell.com, with your 3 quick things for Wednesday, February the 13th, 2019. I want to start talking money, particularly with the SEC network. A couple of weeks ago, ESPN ran a story on their site about the ownership of the Cleveland Browns. That's Jimmy Haslam and his wife. Basically, the story was long. It was well-researched. Certainly had a lot of quotes in it. And it wasn't flattering at all about the Haslams. It basically said they didn't know what they were doing, that they had admitted that they didn't know what they were doing, and that they had changed their minds frequently about the course of the franchise since they had bought it several years ago. The Haslams also own the Pilot and Flying J truck stops, which you see across the Southeast and in Texas. Flying J and Pilot have a contract, an advertising contract with the SEC network. ESPN as a whole, but the SEC network in particular. It's supposedly in the mid to low 7 figures. It's a 4-year deal. They're about halfway through it, and Pilot and Flying J went out now in retaliation for the ESPN article. So who's the loser here? Well, the Haslams, because they look bad, ESPN, because they lost money, and the SEC, who is an innocent bystander and also is going to lose money. So guess what, ESPN? It's time to make good, because you mess with the SEC's wallet, and they're going to want you to make it up. Okay, thing number 2. Let's talk about mental health. We're going to get real serious today. Yesterday, this Fort Worth Star-Telegram had a good story on Dalen Mack, discussing his issues with depression stemming from his parents' divorce his freshman year, and his struggles his sophomore and junior year as he was both overweight and misused by John Chavis and Kevin Sumlin. Depression sucks. It obviously got to him. He rebounded very nicely this year, and a tip of the hat to him for dealing with his issues and then having a great year. This morning, Tyler Davis, the former A&M center, put a video up on Twitter where he said that he's going to step away from the game for a while to deal with depression-related issues as well. I know what he's going through. I know what Dalen's went through, because I suffered from depression myself. That's not a real shock to most of you because I mentioned it on the board. But when you have it, the highs aren't that high. The lows get really low. You feel like you're a letdown, a disappointment. You're not doing anything right. And it's just very, very difficult. So I fully support Tyler making the decision to step away, to deal with this, because, if you don't, it can end up being very, very bad. And I think it's outstanding that Dalen dealt with it and that he's been able to move on and will be a force in the NFL. So more power to both of them. And now, thing number 3, something positive. A&M's basketball team has won 2 straight games in conference. They crushed Georgia last night. They beat Missouri last weekend. So, yay! Except for the fact that Missouri and Georgia are terrible. They are unbelievably bad. Vanderbilt may be worse. A&M hadn't played them yet. But basically what A&M is doing is beating teams they should, because this is the absolute bottom of the barrel. The Aggies are close, but they're not the bottom. So they're doing what they're supposed to. It would be nice if they would beat a few teams that they're not supposed to. That would require some consistent effort, and they have not proven that to me yet, that they can do it. So here's hoping they do. All right, see you Thursday.